Have you guys ever wondered why there are so many of these AI tools that seem to do the exact same thing? Well, in this video, I'm going to let you guys in on a secret and kind of expose the truth behind 99% of these AI tools. This is your first time to the channel. My name is Ryan with AIinsidertips.com, and my mission here is to help you guys stay informed on the overwhelming world of artificial intelligence. So if you could hit that subscribe button, like this video, would truly appreciate that. So let's get back to exposing the truth behind most of these AI tools. So if you head over to Google and search for something like best AI writing tool, AI writing software, you'll come across all sorts of these different tools, right? Jasper, Copy AI, WriteSonic, AnyWord, Writer, Froz. I mean, there's so many of these tools now floating around, and there's probably a dozen more by the time this video is over with. And the reason I'm using writing in this example is because that's what most people use these AI tools for, is for text outputs to write content, short form, long form, whatever the case is. So what is the big secret behind all of these different AI writing tools? Well, guys, to explain it as simple as possible, all these tools are is essentially a white labeled version of OpenAI, Claude, Llama 3, or really any other large language model that offers API keys. Now, what exactly do I mean by this? Okay. So as an example, I'm just going to use this Juice AI. And by the way, guys, for full transparency, I've never actually used this tool. These guys have just been targeting me for about a month now. So I was looking at them for a little bit, and well done. I mean, in terms of a landing page and trying to drive conversions, well done. Who knows if they've ever been the typical as seen in, right? Who knows if they've ever even been in here? And if they have, they probably paid for it. A little screenshot of a Google Search Console dashboard. Who knows if that's even real or if it's photoshopped. Just some quick gimmicks as I'm scrolling through this for one of the first times. But anyways, where I'm going with this, okay, is it costs $29 a month. So if I click pricing, what do I get for that $29 a month? You get 15 high-quality SEO blog posts published to your site. And you get some of these other things, which aren't that big of a deal. But guys, for $29 a month, according to Juice AI, you get 15 high-quality SEO blog posts. So is it worth it, right? Well, let's say, for example, if you go to OpenAI's, API pricing and you scroll down, and let's use GPT-4o because that's one of the most popular models right now. For every 1,000 output tokens, it's worth almost, it looks like a little less than 2 cents. So for every 1,000 output tokens, to make sure I get this right, it's a little under 2 cents. So remember that, all right? Follow along with me here, as this does get a little confusing. Now, when it comes to words, OpenAI says you can think of tokens as pieces of words, where 1,000 tokens is about 750 words. So that leads to the question, well, how many words is in a typical blog post that's SEO optimized? So on this example, I just copy and pasted a blog post on my website, pasted it in here, and there were about 6,640 characters. So right around probably 1,000 words, maybe 1,200. And that equates to 1,312 tokens. So let's think about this, guys. If every 1,000 tokens is less than 2 cents, what do you think 1,300 tokens is? 3 cents, 4 cents? So for every blog post that's about 1,000 to 1,200 words using GPT-4o, it's costing an API cost of about 5 cents, give or take. Now, if we even look at GPT-4o Mini, which is even less expensive, I mean, what is this, guys? I don't even know what this would be in terms of a dollar amount, but that's even less expensive. What is that? Less than a penny per blog post to some extent? So if you're using GPT-4o and you're writing 1,500, 1,000, even 2,000 word blog posts, it's going to cost about 10 to 15 cents, where these guys are charging you, $29, if I can find the page here, $29 for 15 blog posts, where on the API cost, it's costing them maybe $5 tops. So they're making, $24, $20 to $25 in profit just off the API costs that they have on the back end, and then they're just selling that to the user. It's the same exact case that we see here, with a company like Blaze or Jasper or Copy AI. It's a heck of a business model to newbies in AI who don't really understand how this stuff works. And if you go down to this one, for example, and you click on something like AI terms, some of them will have them, and you do a Command F, you'll see here, if you choose to use the AI features, you may not use the AI features that violates any OpenAI policy. This right here tells me that this is a white labeled tool of OpenAI. Why would they care about violating OpenAI's policy if they weren't using the API key from OpenAI? So it's just crazy, guys, when you start going down the rabbit hole and kind of peeling things back here. of how most of these tools are white labeled versions of either OpenAI or Claude, right? So it's the same deal with Claude here, as you can go to Anthropic's API, Claude 3.5 sonnets, $3 for every million tokens. Opus is actually kind of expensive. Haiku, very, very cheap. It's the same story with all of these AI writing tools. They are upselling the customer on a monthly subscription, and once you hit the blog post or once you hit your maximum word count, you either have to buy more credits or you just can't use this tool, and now you're forced to look for another AI writing tool, or you just have to simply wait until your subscription renews the next month. So this sucks, right? And I fell into this trap when I first got into AI because I didn't know what was going on. I was just looking for the next great AI writing tool, not really understanding how all of this stuff works. So now you might be thinking, if you've made it this far, well, Ryan, what do I even do? If all these are white labeled OpenAI and they're all the same and I'm getting, gypped to some extent, what do I even do? Well, in my opinion, the answer here is really two things. It's one, I would either subscribe to ChatGPT Plus or Claude Pro. Both of those do cost $20 a month. And not only that, you do get much higher outputs going in here and actually prompting them inside the tool versus using a white labeled version. So for $20 a month on ChatGPT Plus, I don't know how much exact words you get for that subscription, but it's a lot more than 15 SEO optimized blog posts a month. You could probably do 15 optimized blog posts a day on ChatGPT Plus versus 15 a month for $29. Pretty crazy when you think about it like that. Same with Claude Pro, $20 a month. I would suggest starting a Claude project where you can go in here and kind of create your own personal AI agent to write like you, and you can also set parameters. So for example, if I set, custom instructions for writing a blog post, I can say, write at a 9th grade reading level, don't use certain words, use H2s and H3s, use outbound linking or whatever other best practices that you throw into an SEO optimized blog post these days. I hope you guys see where I'm going with this, is that instead of spending $20, $30, $50 sometimes on these AI SaaS tools, you are much better off paying $20 a month for either ChatGPT Plus or Claude Pro, as you're getting the same exact outputs and you're actually getting more outputs. Now, what would be, devil's advocate here, right? What would be the devil's advocate of why someone would want to use one of these AI writing tools instead of ChatGPT Plus or Claude Pro? And the answer to that is they have really nice user interfaces and pre-configured prompts. So for example, I've been using a tool, and I like these guys a lot. They're pretty good, right? Called SEOwriting.ai, and this is another white-labeled OpenAI, white-labeled Claude. And if you come into these all look relatively similar. If you come into like the one-click blog post option, you'll see here they have all sorts of these models that you can use to write content. And this is right here how you know that a tool is a white-labeled version of OpenAI, Claude, whatever other models that they're pulling in. The fact that it has all of these to choose from right here. And I love this tool, but I only get about 10 blog posts a month on the plan that I'm on, and it costs, I think, $15. So not really worth it compared to doing a Claude Pro or a ChatGPT Plus. But where I'm going with this, okay, and I apologize, I like to ramble when I go down these sorts of rabbit holes, guys, so appreciate you sticking with me here. But where I'm going with this is that tools like this have these really nice looking interfaces, right? All these pre-configured prompts and settings that you can easily tweak. Point of view, tone of voice, article size. Details to include images, optimized for keywords, structure, internal linking, external linking, connect to the web. You can technically do all of these things inside ChatGPT. You can't do some of it in Claude, but you can technically do all of this inside ChatGPT. It's just a lot harder to go in there and prompt it with a long extended prompt that has all of these bells and whistles that these AI writing tools do. So that is the one devil's advocate case that I could see of people that don't know how to prompt AI tools correctly to get desired outputs, is using these tools as they essentially hold your hand on all the things you would need to check or write in for custom instructions, et cetera, et cetera. So if you don't want to subscribe to ChatGPT Plus or Claude Pro, one other option that you can use instead of these white-labeled OpenAI tools is actually an AI tool called Cuppa. Now, I know what you might be thinking, and I thought the same thing. Well, Ryan, isn't this just another white labeled version of OpenAI like the tools that you've been explaining? And it's actually not. I've been exploring Cuppa over the past week or so, and what separates this one is this point right here. You get to use your own API keys, whether that's OpenAI, Anthropic. They don't upsell you on token usage just like all these other tools do, right? So with this tool like Juice AI, for $29, you get 15 blog posts, which cost these guys maybe $5. I'm probably being generous there. Whereas with Cuppa, I believe it costs $13 a month, something like that. Yeah, $150 a year, so $13 a month. And it just provides a great interface for writing content at scale, local service pages. They do have a free trial, so guys, if you want to check that out, I have a link below if you want to go ahead and explore that. They were founded by Charles Float, who's a guy that I trust in the SEO space. I had him on my podcast, great guy. But anyways, guys, long story short, I'll make a review about Cuppa in the near future. If you don't want to subscribe to ChatGPT Plus or Claude Pro, I would highly recommend exploring this tool, which is called Cuppa. So that's it, guys. I appreciate you if you've made it this far, and I hope you learned something in this video where I try to expose the gimmicks of most of these AI SaaS tools that are charging 20, 30, 50, sometimes more per month, and they handcuff you with word limits when these API calls are costing them pennies on the dollar compared to what they're making. And especially if you take that in volume of hundreds of thousands of subscribers, it adds up very quickly in the amount of money that these tools are making. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you use AI writing tools? Are there any that you're a fan of that I should be aware of and want to test or review in the future? Please comment below. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this topic. Again, this is Ryan, and I hope you all have a great day.